Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Tonight's story is unlike anything you've seen before. IU broke down in tears during a midnight press conference, and Jong Suk, right in front of the entire nation, took her hand and revealed something no one ever expected. This is not just celebrity gossip. This is raw, real, and heartbreaking. If you're ready for one of the most emotional confessions in K-entertainment history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because you won't want to miss a single second of this. Let's dive into the truth they finally had the courage to tell. The cameras flashed wildly, not because anyone was prepared, but because no one was. Midnight press conferences weren't normal. But this wasn't normal. The invitation had arrived less than 3 hours prior. No subject, no explanation, just a location, a time, and 2 names, Jong Suk and IU. By the time reporters arrived, the tension was thick enough to slice through. Security was unusually heavy. IU stepped onto the stage first. She was in black. Not glamorous black, not designer black, morning black. Her face was bare, no makeup, no gloss, no sparkle. Just tears, already threatening to spill. Behind her, Jong Suk appeared. He looked older than he did in his last drama. Not aged, tired, like someone who had run out of time. The silence in the room was unbearable. IU took the mic. Her hands trembled. Her voice, small, raw, escaped like a whisper that had been suffocating for years. We weren't supposed to say anything, but tonight I can't carry it anymore. People shifted in their seats, whispers, breath held. No one blinked. She turned to look at Jong Suk, and the moment their eyes met, something inside her broke. I tried to protect it. I tried to protect him, but I ended up destroying us. A single tear slid down her cheek. Jong Suk stepped forward. He didn't grab a mic. He didn't need one. Instead, he took IU's hand, held it in both of his, and looked at the audience, not as a celebrity, but as a man standing at the edge of something irreversible. I should have said this a long time ago, but the world wasn't kind to us then, and I was a coward. People leaned forward, some with phones, others with just pounding hearts. We've been in love for 6 years. We never stopped, not for a second. Even when we weren't allowed to be together, even when the rumors tried to poison what we had, even when I watched her smile for cameras and die a little every time she came home. IU's shoulders began to shake. She turned away, trying to compose herself, but it was too late. The tears were falling freely now, and so were Jong Suk's. I proposed to her 3 years ago, on a rooftop after her concert. She said yes. But we never told anyone, not even our families. People gasped. Some reporters looked stunned. Others simply lowered their cameras, overwhelmed. We kept it a secret because we thought that's how you survive in this industry. But what's the point of surviving if you're not allowed to live? IU stepped forward again. This time, she was stronger, steadier. I had a miscarriage last year. It was a girl. I didn't know how to tell anyone. I didn't even know how to tell him at first, she admitted, gripping his hand tighter. We lost her, and we lost ourselves too. Jong Suk closed his eyes, pain rippling across his face. Tonight, IU said, voice barely audible, we're not here for sympathy. We're here to stop lying. A long silence followed. Then Jong Suk pulled out something from his pocket. It wasn't a ring. It wasn't a letter. It was a folded photo, a sonogram. He held it up. This was her, he said, choking on the words. We named her Han, IU whispered. We say goodnight to her every night. The press conference wasn't a PR stunt. It wasn't a breakup announcement. It wasn't a proposal. It wasn't any of the things people had expected. It was a public unraveling. A raw, honest confession of 2 people in love, broken by silence, healed by the truth. We're not hiding anymore, Jong Suk said. Then, as if nothing else in the world existed, he turned to IU, pulled her close, and kissed her. Not like a celebrity, not like a scene from a drama, but like a man who had just survived his own storm. The cameras flashed again, this time not for scandal, but for history. Because in that moment, Korea's most beloved stars weren't idols. They were simply human. The press conference ended without a Q&A. The couple walked off hand in hand, no apologies, no spin, just truth. And a room full of people who would never forget the night IU cried. Jong Suk held her hand, and together they said the one thing no one expected: everything. Outside the building, a sea of fans and media waited in stunned silence. No screaming, no chants, just hundreds of people holding their breath, processing the truth that had just unfolded. When IU and Lee Jong Suk emerged, hand in hand, eyes still red but strangely calm, no one dared push forward. No one shouted questions. A few fans, overwhelmed with emotion, simply placed white flowers by the barricade as they passed. The gesture didn't go unnoticed. IU paused, knelt, and picked up a single bloom. She whispered something into Jong Suk's ear, and he nodded. The car door closed behind them, but their story was far from over. By 2 a.m., hashtags like IU and Jong Suk Truth, Haein, and We Support IU Jong Suk were trending globally. Thousands of netizens shared their own stories of silent heartbreaks, of miscarriages, secret love, and the pressure to be perfect in a world that demands masks. Celebrities, too, began speaking out. One idol wrote, "It takes unimaginable courage to say what they did tonight. Respect isn't enough of a word." An actress IU had worked with years ago posted a photo of them together, captioned simply, "I remember the nights she couldn't sleep. Now I understand why." Even KBS, notoriously conservative, aired the full conference uncut the next morning, calling it a moment of cultural reckoning. But amidst the support, there were whispers. Critics questioned the timing, accused them of orchestrating drama. IU's agency declined interviews. Jong Suk's management went silent. The couple, true to their word, gave no follow-up statement. They had said everything they needed to say, with their voices, their tears, and their truth. 3 days later, photos surfaced of the two visiting a small memorial in Jeju Island. Locals reported they spent hours sitting silently under a tree, occasionally speaking, mostly just holding each other. One fan, who happened to be hiking nearby, snapped a picture but didn't post it. Instead, she wrote on a forum, "I saw them. I heard them. They weren't acting. They weren't posing. They were grieving and loving at the same time." The image was later released, with their permission. It showed IU resting her head on Jong Suk's arm, his arm around her, both staring out into the sea. No filters, no makeup, just two people, mourning their daughter, mending their love. In an unexpected twist, a handwritten letter appeared on IU's official fan cafe a week later. It wasn't signed IU, it was signed Jian. To those who stayed, thank you. I didn't think I deserved kindness after losing her, but your love found me anyway. We named her Han because it means grace, and somehow that's what you gave us. We will keep living, not for the spotlight, but for the moments that don't need it, and for the little heartbeat we once heard, who changed everything. It was short, poetic, devastating. Lee Jong Suk never commented publicly again, but weeks later, a quiet announcement was made. He had stepped away from all acting projects for the rest of the year. IU, too, postponed her upcoming tour indefinitely. The world didn't criticize them. In fact, for the first time in a long time, Korea, famous for its unforgiving media and online vitriol, did something different. It let them be. Because some stories aren't about happy endings. Some are about finally being able to tell the truth, about holding someone's hand in front of the world and saying, "This is who we are, and we are done hiding." Months later, a journalist visited that same tree in Jeju Island. A small plaque had been added to the base. No names, just words. To Haein. You were here, you mattered. No one knew who placed it there, but everyone knew what it meant. Weeks passed, then months, and though IU and Lee Jong Suk remained quiet, the world did not forget them. Fans continued to leave flowers under that tree in Jeju, letters, handmade origami cranes, stuffed animals with tiny tags that read, "For Haeyeon." And then, one night in early spring, something changed. IU's official YouTube channel uploaded a video. No teaser, no press release, just a black thumbnail and a title, Haeyeon. The screen faded in slowly, just a piano, a single spotlight, and IU sitting on a stool. No makeup, no costume, just her voice, and the sound of a heart breaking beautifully. The song wasn't polished, it wasn't produced like her usual hits, it was raw. A lullaby for someone the world never met, but everyone now mourned.